Hey, check this out. You maybe didn't know that honey is actually fat the bees produce. They have two stomachs, one for their own food and the other for the nectar and water they collect. It's the only insect product that humans can safely eat, and the honey contains all of the nutrients we need to live. Luckily enough, it won't go bad because it has natural preservatives. One beehive will create on average approximately 65 pounds or 29 kilograms of honey per year, but an individual bee will only produce a twelfth of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime. So the colony sizes range from 20 to 60,000 bees, with only one queen that can lay more than 1,500 eggs a day during peak activity, which is in the summer. The bees know which colony to return to because of the distinct smell each colony has. So while honey smells delicious to us, a bee can distinguish its honey from others. Did you know you have an encoded reflex that allows you to hold your breath for longer under chilly water? Try it out. Hold your breath in normal air and then fill up your sink with chilly water and hold your breath while submerging your face in that water and compare your times. When babies up to the age of 6 months are dropped into water, they won't drown or grasp for air because of this reflex being more prominent in them. Just look at Nirvana's most famous album cover, Nevermind. This allows mothers to take their babies for infant swimming lessons, which are both super cute and interesting. The reflex is present in all air-breathing vertebrates, hence why it is also referred to as the mammalian dive reflex. It's activated when chilly water comes in contact with our nostrils and face while we hold our breath. It's a lot more prominent in aquatic mammals like seals, dolphins, otters, but it is present in other mammals and even birds like ducks. In short, the reflex changes the distribution of blood in the body by increasing flow to the brain and heart and decreases to other parts of the body. This happens through a lot of mechanisms, which are interesting to read about. All in all, this allows us to hold our breath underwater for longer, as our brain doesn't cry for air as quickly. Interestingly enough, every 7 to 10 years you get a new skeleton. Luckily, we don't need to go to some mechanic for part replacements, but the natural overturn of cells in our body regenerates the cells in your bones in such a rate that around every decade your bones have lost all of their old cells. This, however, is a lot slower than other parts of your body. Your gut, for instance, replaces itself every 5 to 7 days, as it's exposed to everything you ingest, including all the bad and dangerous things. So to preserve your health, it removes all potentially infected cells. On the other hand though, the cells in your brain do not regenerate, so the brain you are born with is essentially the brain you'll have forever. Though research has revealed some parts of the brain may regenerate, like regions that create our memories. Likewise, your lens cells in your eyes and the teeth enamel are eternal with you, so take care of them. According to the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, the United States federal agency in charge of supervising food products and other things we ingest, 60 insect pieces are allowed for every 100 grams of chocolate sold. So next time you're disgusted by the idea that you swallow spiders in your sleep, don't worry. You've already eaten more insect parts than a spider in your entire life eating those chocolate bars. The reason for this leniency is because it's impossible to ensure there are no insects on the cocoa beans in the mass-producing chocolate industry. This, however, is not as scary as the 0.15% limit of plastic allowed in animal food. Since most of our waste food is transformed into animal feed, most of it is crushed, still packaged. These plastic traces could pose a health risk to us humans, as tiny microplastics have been shown to cross the blood-gut barrier in animals and can thus be found in the meat we eat. A lot of research is put into this due to the controversial allowance limit. But let's end this on a funny note. Whether you love or hate the taste of a McDonald's meal, we can all agree that fast food has become a large part of our culture and has become iconic. With increasing research into different diseases, we are constantly bombarded with information on the health risks unhealthy food poses to us. Similarly, fast food chains are pressured into creating healthier alternatives or healthier food in general. McDonald's, for instance, introduced fruit alternatives to French fries in its iconic Happy Meal, and all the packaging is labeled with calorie information. Not that I've ever read it, to be honest. But in 2014, McDonald's CEO responded to a question on how they were innovating healthy food for children by describing one of their ideas as being bubblegum flavored broccoli. It sounds like a perfectly amazing idea. Trick kids into thinking they are chewing gum, when in reality, they are eating healthy vegetables. So how come you haven't seen any pink broccolis on the menu when munching on that cheeseburger? Well, when the company tested their revolutionary idea on real children, they were faced with confused and displeased youngsters. So children aren't that easy to trick after all. I really hope you learned something and enjoyed this video, and remember to stay curious and see you in the next video.